Today on Sir Superhero's Freak of the Week, we have one of the coolest looking gods within the Marvel Universe. A minor god, sure, but her being minor is one of the reasons why she's so interesting. This is the more recent form of stained glass Scarlet. Scarlet is not a new character, far from it, first debuting in 1981, but at the time she was a regular human woman by the name of Scarlet Fasanera. She was the wife of a minor crime boss who was killed by the police, and that incident led the couple's son to try and follow in his father's footsteps and take revenge. This led him to a confrontation with Moon Knight, and during that, Scarlet herself shot her own child, which kind of drove her insane. Thus, she became Stained Glass Scarlet, a sort of Punisher-style vigilante who was almost a love interest to Mark Spector, but never officially. The dynamic these two had was odd. They would team up sometimes, fight other times, all while sharing a psychic connection that was never really explored or defined. The Stained Glass Scarlet arc kind of just got dropped, and Scarlet would not show up for several decades until 2022. In issue 8 of Moon Knight by Jed MacKay, we see the other Fist of Khonshu, Hunter's Moon, investigating an apparent return of Stained Glass Scarlet, confirming in the process that she had been killed off-page at some point in the past. However, her mission did not perish. Other people took up the Stained Glass Scarlet name and continued her work, eventually blooming into a full-on cult that gained enough devotion that it resurrected some form of Stained Glass Scarlet as a minor deity. This plays into the narrative-based magic system that Marvel uses in a lot of areas. The story and myth of Stained Glass Scarlet gained so much presence in reality that it became a real entity in its own right. This entity was extremely powerful and dangerous, plus essentially immortal by physical means. As Scarlet herself says, you cannot kill a story with fists or blades. But you can kill it with another story, so Hunter's Moon just calls on Khonshu, another metaphysical entity, and then Khonshu kicks her ass. The whole thing is a metaphor for the actual way that real myths develop. Even as Khonshu says, they can war upon each other and they can be reduced in power, much like a lot of ancient gods have been changed and altered and blended into others over the centuries. Since her defeat at the hands of Khonshu, we have not seen Stained Glass Scarlet appear again, but the comic does make it clear that her cult survives, so this god is still around in some weakened form, just waiting for the moment her story can be picked back up.